Howdy friends, and welcome back to Toy Box Nostalgia. I'm Douglas, and in this video we're going to be unboxing and reviewing and taking a very close look. The absolute brand new 2024 Mattel Turtles of Grayskull Moss Man. Yeah, that's right. This thing looks bonkers to me. This looks like something straight out of, I don't know, John Carpenter's The Thing, or like that episode of where Stephen King turned into a moss man. It's just crazy. There's a lot of plants in this box. They're all plastic, but it still looks really cool. Moss Man is Babbette's absolute favorite Motu character because he's green. She loves the color green. This is the second Moss Man that I own. I also have the Masters of the Universe Revelations Masterverse version of Moss Man from the Netflix show. This was insanely hard to get my hands on. This is very rare, I guess. I don't know. I see on Facebook a lot of folks are getting this or seeing it in the wild. My local Walmart actually completely just removed the Motu pegs. They're now gone. I saw that tonight, so it's kind of sad. I had to buy this from Walmart store, so I had to pay a little bit extra just to get my hands on the damn thing, but I'm very excited, and I'm going to share this unboxing experience with you, my friends. Speaking of which, if you're new to Toy Box Nostalgia, you'd love to see more content like this show up into your YouTube newsfeed, please consider hitting that subscribe button. It truly helps out the channel, and thank you so much to everyone that has subscribed. It truly means the world to me. Thank you. If you enjoy the content of this video, if you're just a fan of Moss Man, or Nickelodeon Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, or Masters of the Universe, or just action figures, or I don't know, if you just like the background or something, please give me a thumbs up. It truly helps out. And please drop a comment below letting me know, did you have a hard time getting this action figure? Was it what you thought it would be? Did it live up to the expectation or the rarity? I don't know, let's just kick off the conversation. I absolutely love Turtles of Grayskull, and I'm just happy to have another action figure here. Thank you so much for watching, my friends. Give me like 10 seconds to set up the lighting and everything, and I'm gonna catch you after this quick break. Okay, here he is, my friends, in the packaging. Take a look at how crazy this action figure looks, right? I'm pretty sure some of that purple stuff may be reused from another action figure, and maybe some of those tentacles there. I don't know. Looks great. We've seen this packaging multiple times here on the channel. This is the deluxe Turtles of Grayskull packaging for any action figure that comes with, say, a lot of accessories or extra parts. Up here at the top left, we have a really nice painting of Moss Man, just kind of walking with his hands out. Over here on the right, we have another painting of Moss Man, where he's using a very large Venus flytrap, it looks like, as a shield. It says, Moss Man, Mutated Master of Nature. That is awesome. You know, this packaging is just really cool. I always talk about this. I love the purple and the greens and the yellows. I think that's really cool. So the purple kind of fades down into the green, and then we have sewer pipes like he's bursting out of a sewer. We do see missing bricks where the window is. The window wraps around to the top. Very cool. It says Masters of the Universe X Nickelodeon Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles on this clear sticker on the front. Down here on the right says Mattel, and we do have the ooze just coming out of there. That just looks awesome. I'd hate to have to be the plumber of the sewers in Eternia after all this went down. So up here at the top left, we have Masters of the Universe, and then over here on the top right, we have Nickelodeon Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Then we have this crazy comic book style artwork on the back of Moss Man attacking Leonardo. And that's an incredible piece of art right there. Like, take a look at that. That is crazy. I love the full moon and the bats. Like, all of the dead vegetation in the background just looks so gloomy. You could see, like, vegetation that's rotting and falling off of trees. A lot of the trees kind of look blasted. Like, look at that. That's just so cool looking. Oh, yeah, and this is an unpunched packaging, too. That's kind of cool. So Moss Man has like this crazy, I don't know, it's like a mixture of the Terror Claw and like Wolverine or something going on, where it's like he's either holding it or it's coming out of his wrist. Looks really cool. We do have this version of Leonardo right here. It was part of one of the first waves, I believe, of Turtles of Grayskull. And we could see tentacle wrapped around his leg and all these tentacles coming off of Moss Man. Just, that's scary. You know, he does have a sword. Why isn't he trying to slice it away? I don't know. And they're in water. And there's tape. You can see some tape right there on the box. Completely ruining the artwork. I'm going to zoom in right here in case you want to read this little blurb right here about Moss Man. Down here we have two action shots. Attack with fly trap or swap onto head to chomp enemies. Okay, so I'm guessing the Venus flytrap is also his head. So that's kind of cool. Empowering the next generation through play. Thank you, Mattel. Everyone appreciates that. Here's the barcode in case you need it. So over here on the right-hand side, we have a really big, beautiful drawing of the Thing. And then over here on the left, I love this one because he's just kind of like standing there like all intimidating looking with his hand up, and he's got these crazy tendrils of plants just coming off of his arm. That's so cool. His feet look nuts. I don't even know, are they roots or are they like bird feet? I don't know. Combination of both. That's what we have. It was mixed up here. So let's go ahead and tear this open and I'll be right back. Okay, so right here on the flap, I want to show you this artwork right here inside of the box. It shows how to connect the tentacles right here on the back. They just go into the circle pegs there that we've already seen on the armor for like Man-at-Arms and Slacker to connect the shields. Kind of looks exactly the same. And then here we have a diagram of removing the head, the regular Moss Man head, and planting on this plant. Yeah. Okay, so here's everything that you get in the package, my friends. We get this backdrop that we've seen multiple times with the deluxe action figures that come from Mattel for the Turtles of Grayskull toy line. And we do get, again, this piece of cardboard. It's definitely not a comic. Wrapped in plastic, and then we have the little instruction sheet right here. And then we have the action figure in this nice bubble right here, showing off all of this. All of this somehow fit in that little box. I don't know, I'm confused by that. I was confused by Slacker because there was a lot of stuff that came in there, and that action figure was massive. So I guess at this point, this is just normal for all this stuff to be in here. I do see some plastic bands, so I'm going to have to cut those, and I'll be right back. And we're back. This is everything that comes in the box. Look at all of this stuff. This is crazy. Let's start with the instruction sheet, my friends. So this is going to be an absolute normal looking Masters of the Universe Origins action figure. We can remove the head if we'd like to, remove the arms. At the shoulders, we can remove the hands for swapping parts. We could break apart the action figure at the waist and remove essentially the whole bottom half of the leg and the feet at the boot cut. And it says right here, remove and swap parts, removable parts. Cool. And now we have this right here. This is a piece of cardboard that kind of looks like the cover of a really epic comic book. Like, that looks awesome. If I saw this in comic book form, I'd definitely purchase that. And I'm hoping that they make another volume of the artwork for Masterverse and for Origins that includes all of the Turtles of Grayskull stuff and all of the cartoon collection stuff and the new Eternia Masterverse stuff that's been coming out, because, you know, that is just nuts. The artists are just going crazy, and I love it. So here we have Moss Man, Mutated Master of Nature. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom in here in case you'd like to read that. I really love the artwork on here. I think that looks absolutely fantastic. And seriously, the whole like sewer and Eternia thing with the mutagen is just awesome. I love that. This is beautiful. Like, this looks like it was a painting for sure. Very cool. I'm going to put that aside. And here, my friends, is Mutated Moss Man, who looks scary. Like, this dude's pretty scary looking. I really think this is another great action figure in this toy line for Masters of the Universe and Nickelodeon's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles crossover, Turtles of Grayskull. Like, it's completely transparent. The whole thing is transparent except for the armor. It's that really nice color green. It's kind of like Moss Man green. It does look kind of strange with the red eyes, though, on the green. You know, that you get that weird contrast when you're looking at it from afar. It's hard to tell the face features without like some sort of wash in the plastic. You know, if I were to wash this with like, say, a dark olive green, all of the features would come out and look really cool. I would definitely paint the inside of the mouth too, just to match everything. But yeah, just take a look at that head sculpt. Pretty crazy looking, right? Looks like they put a little bit of black paint around the eyes, and then we have red eyes. The teeth are white. Paint application looks absolutely great. Take a look at that armor. That's pretty crazy, right? Lots of bones, I think. Or, yeah, there's bones on the front here. And then we have these bones here at the top. The rest of it kind of looks like purple plants. The arm sculpts look new in this toy line. Like, I don't remember any other action figure having these long, furry-looking forearms. You could see the fur detail in there. Very cool. We have these bracers right here, which don't move. I'm guessing they're part of the sculpt. And then we have these massive hands that we did in fact see On Merman, these look just like the Merman hands, except sculpted in transparent green, which is very cool. Like, I love this green color. This is out of the ordinary for me as far as, like, I don't know, action figures and even some of the stuff that I have. I never thought that I would have transparent action figures. I always read that the transparent plastic was a little more brittle, and not a lot of folks are making transparent action figures. I know in the Motu line, we did get a few, I think from maybe Super 7 a while back, with like Man-at-Arms being crystal clear and such, which I still think would be cool to have, but like, I don't know, this is completely new to me and like, kind of refreshing. So flipping over to the back, you see we do have those peg holes for like a shield, or these pieces right here, and it does in fact come off. Yeah, you can kind of see a seam right there, and then we have that little button right there. So yep, see, it just comes right off just like that. The armor's like a nice rubbery feel to it. This piece right here is definitely hard plastic with these bones, but I really love the attention to detail there with the vines and the horns and everything. That just looks crazy. This looks like something out of Diablo 4 to me. And then we have that really cool connector, and I love the fact that they actually sculpted on that piece right there. So whenever this is pushed together, it just kind of blends in with the pattern right there. Isn't that cool? And then we have like more of the vines, just completely going through all of it. Even these parts right here where the tendrils connect, or where a shield will connect, they're sculpting on there also. And then we have the body itself. Let's go ahead and remove some of the other pieces here. Yeah, let's take a look at this right here. So this is one of the arm pieces, and it looks like it's just a bunch of vines, like really nasty, gnarly looking purple vines. They are kind of like drooping down at the bottoms, kind of look like they would sway, as he's walking, make him look even creepier. But the inside is just completely flat, and you can see it sculpted to perfectly fit on that arm. And to pull it off, I just like ran it down the arm, and wow, that fits like a glove right on there because of the way the inside is flat like that. So here's a closer look at the arm itself, and you can see those really cool mutagen-filled veins on that super muscular bicep and shoulder. Like, this is definitely like an Origins piece right here. Wow, that's like really sculpted. That's a huge, huge arm right there. And then we have like this extended long forearm right here, and then the huge hands, making his arms seem like they're like really long. That's really cool and super creepy. If we take a look at the torso right here, you can see those mutagen-filled veins all over his chest, and the fur all over his chest, which, well, technically supposed to be moss, I guess. But flipping over to the back, we have more of that fur or moss right there. Everything is pretty much transparent except for that connector right there. So let's go ahead and shine a light through this guy. Yeah, you can see like all of it's transparent. The hands, the forearms, the bicep, the shoulder, the torso, the legs, the feet, the whole thing is transparent. Even the head. Very cool. I love that. Super rad. So here's what Mutated Moss Man looks like without any armor on him. Take a look at that. That's pretty awesome looking. I love the deep color red that they used for the belt and for the bracers. It's kind of like a shining blood color. Very cool. And then we have that deep blue color for the loincloth there, and it looks like Masters of the Universe Origins loincloth. We don't get any type of veins or anything down the legs, on the thighs or anything, but you could tell that's Origins right there. Take a look at that. That thigh right there is massive. And then the legs look like they're extended. Don't they look very long? They do have like sculpted in moss or fur on the back of the calf and on the front of the shin right there. Really awesome touch. And then we have these root or bird-like feet that just look awesome. Yeah, so he's got 5 toes on each foot. Yeah, so this is what he looks like. His complete aesthetic without any armor on. Let's go ahead and take a look at articulation, because this is kind of a different action figure as far as the size goes and some of these parts. So as we saw from the instructions, we can remove the head, we can remove the arms at the shoulder, we can break the action figure in half at the waist, and we can in fact take the bottoms of the legs off, as you see right there. Typical Masters of the Universe Origin style peg right there. Snaps right in. Let's start with the head. We know the head's on a ball joint, so we get a lot of tilt. Let's see, looking down, not very much, just simply due to the beard. Looking up, yeah, it can look up really well. That's that's awesome. And then moving down to the shoulder, it is a peg. And it's Masters of the Universe Origins, which means the peg kind of points down towards the pelvis. We do have a hinge on the peg. You can see the hinge inside there, so we can move out and we can swivel, obviously. There's no bicep cut, but we can, in fact, swivel at the elbow, which is awesome. And you can actually see the hinge mechanism inside there because it's translucent green. I love that. It's so cool. Look at that. And then, so we swivel, and then we have the hinge, and then moving down to the wrist, this is going to be on a peg. Also, as we saw from the instructions, Masters of the Universe Origins peg. There's a peg hole right there, and this piece does, in fact, not come off. It's definitely part of the sculpt. But the hinges in the hands both go into the palm, as we see right there. Taking a look at these hinges, you can see right there. So he can get this type of movement, but not up and down, unfortunately. But that's okay. Moving down to the waist, we swivel at the waist because it's on a peg. So we see right there. And this is how you get the armor off. If you want to remove the armor, you just simply flip it over, just like this, putting it back on. This mechanism is flawless on this. Like, taking this off and on is absolutely a breeze compared to some of those old vintage action figures with those little belt buckle things. And yeah, so moving down to the pelvis, we can move out. As we see, we have 2 ball joints with a peg that I think connects both of them together. So we could get a really nice range of articulation. You know, he's not going to be able to see exactly where he's kicking if he kicks up really high, just because there's no type of ab crunch or anything, because this is Masters of the Universe Origins. But you can swivel and you can move it all around as much as you could on like a ball peg. So you get a good amount of articulation. Moving down to the knee, we swivel at the knee, thankfully, and we have a hinge. Looking at the back of the action figure, you can see that, you know, the back of the calf right here is not cut out. So you don't get to move that far with the actual hinge itself. It's okay. Moving down to the boot cut, you know, we saw this is on a peg, so it's going to swivel. And here's the odd part. So the feet don't have a rocker. So, you know, it's kind of odd, but they do have they have a hinge, and they can make some really strange, really strange articulation there. And it swivels like 360 degrees perfectly flat. You know, instead of a rocker. So if this action figure had his feet, you know, spread apart, you know, you could like look at his feet, like they're not going to stand flat. So what I would do is kind of turn this part outwards, and then you can manipulate this part to make it go flat. So we just turn the shin kind of, and then just bend the feet down. And as you see there, they're flat again. So you could still achieve that, maybe to a little bit better degree, you know, for this type of action figure and how odd this is. I think this is a crazy amount of articulation, especially considering the cost. You know, this was like an on-peg, like big box store action figure. I know that I couldn't find it anywhere, but those folks that did got an amazing deal for a retail price for this guy. I think this is awesome. All right, so on to these crazy looking accessories, right? Let's start with this. So this thing, as we saw in the picture, kind of attached to his arm. But I don't know how it works. You know, it looks like there's this big piece of plastic going through it, kind of like some sort of bar or something. Maybe that's supposed to be like a can of mutagen, but it's crystal clear. It's not painted or anything. And then we have lots of these crazy roots and tendrils and stuff to make up this giant claw that I had mentioned kind of look like it came from something like, I don't know, like a combination of Wolverine and just John Carpenter's The Thing. That's all I can think of. But I'm guessing this kind of goes on the hand somehow. We have to figure out how this goes on the hand here. Okay, so it turns out he holds it in his hand, just like that, which is kind of odd. That's not what the picture on the box is showing. So yeah, that actually makes far more sense. It's almost like a gun. See, he's kind of like holding onto this piece that's jutting out. If you take a look at the box right there, he's not holding that piece. It's just kind of like connected to his arm. So that's why that was a little bit confusing. That's okay. We figured it out. This piece looks really good though. I love all the detail in it. And, you know, it's kind of hard to see because the whole damn thing is translucent. But yeah, up close, you can absolutely see all the, like the roots and stuff that comprise this. I guess it's like a weapon now that he's just straight up holding it. Then we have these parts right here, as we saw from the box. These parts will connect to the These pieces right here, just kind of just push right in there. To this side too. Yeah, there we go. So then he's got these crazy tendrils right here. Wow, that looks awesome. I love that. So they're like a hard, rigid plastic, and they're translucent purple. And they're very rigid. I don't think this is going to bend or break or anything, which is good. And they have a lot of like bumps in them, like a lot of details, making it almost look like worms, like big, dark purple earthworms. So this just adds to the creepiness, right? So then we have this piece right here, which looks like a head. And we did see on the box how this connects. Just going to snap this on just like this. As you see, there's a peg hole inside there, and there's a lot of roots and tendrils going on right there. And yeah, it just kind of snaps on just like that, making this even more like John Carpenter's The Thing, right? Some of the necks and arms were extended like crazy in that movie. That really creeped me out when I was a kid. So this honestly looks crazy. Like, this action figure is absolutely, as I said in the beginning of the video, bonkers. Like, that's the only word I could come up with. This is super mutated. Like, this took the mutation of the Turtles of Grayskull mutagen that was used by Hordak and Skeletor to another level. Absolutely. I think that's awesome. Now, the last piece right here is a massive, look at that. Like, it even articulates. This is a massive Venus flytrap, as you see right there. Just kind of, this piece right here probably is sweet smelling or something, luring flies into it. The flies land on it, and bam, it goes like this, and the flies get digested by the carnivorous plant. We do have a ball peg hole right there, so we can snap this on. But take a look at those crazy details, right? It really looks like a plant. Even the veins in the actual Venus flytrap. Very cool. And on the inside, now this part doesn't articulate. It's attached. As you see, it's like rigid. It's absolutely attached to that top flap right there. It's kind of goofy looking, but at the same time, if I saw something that looked like this in person, attached to somebody's head, to be honest with you, I'd be creeped out quite a lot. So let's go ahead and just snap this on right here. And there he is in his full crazy mutated Moss Man glory. That is nuts. I don't know how this action figure is going to stand, because this thing is heavy. This piece up here is like solid, and it has articulation on it, so I don't know if this dude's going to stand with this thing on his head, especially this massive, heavy piece of plastic on his arm. Or maybe that's used to balance. Let's go ahead and see. Yeah, we could get him to stand. Yeah, to be fair, those big bird-like or root-like feet probably help a lot in the way that he stands, so that's not bad. I just had him standing for a minute, and he just like kind of fell on his own. I'd hate to put this up on a shelf, because I feel like because of all these tendrils and kind of how big this guy is, if he fell, he'd knock a lot of stuff over also. But yeah, I don't know. This is a lot. Like, this action figure is a lot, and I really love the design of it. I understand why it was so sought after, especially because it was unfortunately a Walmart exclusive. Which, again, my experience just kind of sucks with Walmart, and the Motu pegs are now gone. They have some other toys in their place, and there's no Motu in my Walmart at all, unfortunately. But there's a lot of Ninja Turtle stuff. There's like 10 feet of an aisle just dedicated to Ninja Turtles from Mutant Mayhem. So I guess that's what the kids want. Maybe they don't want stuff like this, but I want this. I think this is awesome. So that is a close and in-depth look at the Mutated Moss Man with all of the accessories, the articulation, the details. I'm kind of infatuated with this toy line just because of the huge amount of creativity that went into this stuff. Like, this truly looks like something out of Diablo 4 to me. This is awesome. Absolutely awesome. This is beautiful. I love how the translucent plastic is like glossy too, because it just, I don't know, the hands, especially when the light is going through them at certain angles, it just reminds me of something, I would have had when I was a kid in the early 1980s. Like, this this hits all the spots, I love this. So thank you so much for sticking to the end, my friends. I hope that you enjoyed the Toy Box Nostalgia unboxing and review and very close look at the 2024 Mattel Turtles of Grayskull Mutated Moss Man action figure. And I'd love to know what you think of this action figure, so please drop a comment below letting me know what you think. And if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. And if you enjoyed the content of the video, all I ask is that you simply hit the thumbs up button. We'd truly appreciate it. Thank you so much for sticking to the end, my friends. I hope that you enjoy the rest of your week, and remember, collect and shoot.